Are you ready for a mission? I really hope so, because we need to get to that island and rescue as many of those cats we can before that evil Vesh turns up. I don't even want to think about what he might do to them. Come on, let's do this. You can help us. Hello and welcome to All Around the Board. Today we'll be talking about the Isle of Cats, and I'm going to be including the Late Arrivals expansion as well. The base game of Isle of Cats is a 1 to 4 player game, and the expansion allows for 5 to 6 players. The game is designed by Frank West and it is published by the City of Games. Now, everything you're going to see today and everything I'm going to talk about is going to reference to both the base game and the expansion. The Isle of Cats base game comes with 3 different variants. You have your ordinary mode, your solo mode, and the family mode. Now, there are cards included inside the base game to play the solo variant and the family variant. Now, the family variant is a very simplified version that you can play with kids. However, I do find that the base game plays quite well with my 8-year-old daughter. In the Isle of Cats, players will be using tile placement and drafting to get as many points as possible. On a round, players will be drafting a hand of 7 cards. They'll pick 2 of them, pass 5 on, pick another 2, pass 3 on, pick a final 2, and then pass the last one on. Once players have received their cards, they'll then decide which ones to purchase. Then we can go on to the next phase, which is your speed round. In this round, players will play green cards to see who will go first, second, third, fourth, and depending if you're playing with the expansion, 5th and 6th. Once you've played your green cards and you've established who's going first and second and so on, each player will have a chance to either buy a cat from one of the fields or they can pass. To rescue a cat, you're going to need enough fish, depending on which field the cats are in, depending on if they cost 3 fish or 5 fish. You'll also need a basket to go with that as well, because how else are you going to carry them off the island? As soon as you rescue your cats, you need to get them on your ship. However, there's going to be some points you need to consider when placing your cats. Firstly, you're going to get points for every family of same coloured cats that have 3 or more in the same family. You're also going to, not lose points if you can fill up as many rooms as possible. And you're also going to gain some points for those rare treasures that you find on the island while you're collecting the cats. Unfortunately, the common treasures don't get you any points. However, you can use these to fill those little gaps that I guarantee you will get as you play. And not forgetting to cover those rats. We need to get rid of those. So the more cats you have that you can cover, get rid of those rats. And that's also a way of not losing points. As soon as all players have passed or they've run out of baskets and or fish to capture those cats, you'll go on to the next phase. In this phase, players will have the opportunity to play their treasure cards and their Oshaks cards. Now, the treasures will get you the typical common and rare treasures to fill up the gaps, and the Oshaks cards are used to get those wild cats onto your boat. Now, they will join a family of your choosing, because they can merge into any colour they want. They're quite magical, actually. As soon as players have completed all these steps, you'll repeat this again, and you'll do up to 5 rounds. Now, what will happen to signify the end of the game is Vesh's boat will reach the hand, and that's it. Vesh has arrived. And I don't even know what will happen at that point. I'm just hoping that you've emptied that island of cats by this point. So before we have a look inside the box, I just want to put a little warning on here. If you love cats, this may be too much for you. There's some very cute artwork. And, cat lovers out there, I don't know if it's too much, but you have been warned. So on the underside of the lid, we have the cat setup, very important if you have a pet cat. You have the cat meeples. You have your boat boards, which is where you'll be placing your cats and your treasures. You've got the cat tiles, which are in 5 different colours. These are the cats that you'll be rescuing and putting onto your ship. You have the Oshaks tiles, which are used as the wild cats. We have the common treasures, which are no points, but they are used to fill up your ship. You have the rare treasures, which are 3 points each. We have the basket tiles. These are double-sided to signify if they're used or unused. We have the fish tokens, which is the resource, or the money, if you like, that you'll have throughout the game. You have the Vesh boat, which signifies how many rounds you have left. And this board is also used to track the player order, which you would put your cat meeples on the paws. You have the stack of discovery cards, which you will draft around the table at the beginning of the round. And these cards will be used as actions, or they'll be used as lessons to grab points, or a multiple of other things in there. Now, there are so many cards that we cannot go through them all. There are the family lessons, which are used in the family mode of the game. And you have a separate deck of cards, which are used for the solo mode. The base game of Isle of Cats plays for 1 to 4 players. And the expansion, which is the late arrivals, will allow you to go up to 6 players. In this particular expansion, you will get extra cats and extra boards to make up for those player counts. With the Isle of Cats, we play it mostly with 3 players, and it's a great game for the 3 of us to play it as a family. We also quite enjoy it with 2 players, however, we don't seem to get as many points. I have had a 5-player game as well using the expansion, and it feels like you do get a lot more points and there's a lot more going on. And obviously the drafting as well is actually more involved than if you play with 2 to 3 players. Now, I haven't had a chance to play the base 4-player, nor have I played the expansion with 6 players yet. However, I can't imagine this being much different to a 3-player game, and this I think would be very similar to a 5-player game. And the solo mode, just a quick note on that. I'm not much of a solo gamer at all, but I cracked out the solo version of this, and actually I really enjoyed it. So definitely give that a go, even if you're not much of a solo gamer. So let's have a look at the time that it says on the box. It does say 60 to 90 minutes. Now, a 2-player game, even when we were learning the game, has taken us at most half an hour. We play regular 3-player games, including my daughter who's only 8 years old, and the game actually takes 45 minutes to an hour. Now, when we played our 5-player game, it took closer to an hour and a half, that 90-minute mark that it states. Now, this is probably because of the amount of players, and I would work out roughly that it's 20 minutes per player. Now, even though there is that increase of time when you include the extra players, there is far more gameplay involved. There's more interaction, there's more cards going around the table, and there's a lot more competition when you're trying to go first, second, third, fourth, when you're playing your speed cards. So even though a 2-player game is quicker, it's maybe not as interesting as playing with the 5 players. Now, the big question, is this game for you? And will you need the expansion? Well, if you're into games such as Baron Park, Patchwork, Copenhagen, or even Feast for Odin, then I would absolutely recommend this game. I'm a big fan of the polyomino games, the puzzle style games, and this just fits that bill really nicely. And I love the added drafting that happens. Now, if you're only going to play up to 4 players, the base game is enough for you. If you're potentially going to have some friends over when the lockdown is over and you want to play in a bigger group, then I would recommend the 5 to 6 player edition as well. And is this game for me? I've probably left a few hints within this video. Yes, absolutely. For me, I really love this game. It's very quickly going into my top rated games as well. I'm not bored of it yet. I played it about 10 times in 1 week as soon as I got it, and I have not stopped playing it. So yes, this is 100% for me. So that's all I've got time for today, and I really hope that you enjoyed this video, and thank you so much if you did watch. Now, this is the first video I've done on my YouTube channel, and any feedback would be massively appreciated. Now, I want to thank you to my sponsors at Stamford Photo Express. I'd like to thank Mark Stoneham for helping me with all the music. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel, and please check out my Patreon. Anything that you can donate towards will just make these videos that much better, and I'm hoping to expand into different videos as well as just previews. Feel free to follow me on any of the social medias. Any questions you have, any discussions you want to have, if you want to have a chat about this video or anything game related, please follow me on one of the links that I'll pop on the screen just now. For now, thanks for watching, and I hope that you get to play this game very soon. See you later.